Hey man, what are you doing?
Hey man, I'm playing FIFA, what?
Ah, come on, throw that shit and let's play something real.
Come on, let's put it up. Okay, let's play. Ah, really man?
Nah.
6 hours?
A few moments later.
Okay, so we have our guest, Benjamin Cañas. Hi. And he's supporting us in our video with this interview, and he's from other videos found in
From
the
the
channel.
channel?
Yes, so you can go and watch them.
Okay.
Let's
I'll
start
start.
with the questions.
Okay, the first question. Please, Bruno, can you tell me about Dark Souls franchise, please?
Of course, Dark Souls 3 is a video game for PS4, Xbox One and PC, developed by From Software and released by Bandai Namco Entertainment. It is the fourth installment in the RPG saga of fantastic medieval setting, which are Dark Souls 1 and 2 and another game called Bloodborne.
Now, the next question. What about the game?
Well, Dark Souls 3 is an RPG of action in third person in which we face diverse enemies and dangers in scenes. In addition, the final bosses of the video game stand out for the designs and sizes, requiring the player to observe the pattern of movements of their rival.
Now, Burgos, what makes this video so great?
Well, the high difficulty and the number of deaths that the player lives along with the set design, character design, and the excellent soundtrack make this game one of the best according to almost all the RPG players.
12 seconds later. (8:01 p.m.) a.m.
He missed. Let's go. That's right. But I missed.
The story is so complex almost no one knows what's happening in those games. They are tangentially connected, but the main takeaway is that you are an interloper in a strange world where pretty much everything wants to kill you.
If you're worried about buying the game because you've heard it's too hard, then I'd ask you to reconcile your position. Dark Souls 3 is good, but not because it's hard. The hundreds of deaths you'll face aren't masochist punishment. They're part of the scientific process, helping you to learn by doing until you have the data to better your enemies.
You can't always decide when you'll fight, but if you're careful, you can usually dictate where you do battle. Luring single enemies away from their peers is key to getting through some of Dark Souls 3's together section, but you should also try dragging them to where you can make best use of your whip. If you're using a great sword, for example, you'll want to avoid tight corridors, or else your horizontal slash attacks will climb harmlessly off the wall. On the other hand, if you are using a bow, a narrow hallway gives you a good chance of successfully hitting your target without them rolling to safety.
Seasoned Souls veterans will know the power of fighting near a ledge. Keeping your fingers crossed that the game's slightly wonky eye will launch your opponent into an exuberant attack that sends them plummet to their doom. But Dark Souls 3 seems to have reduced the likelihood of this occurring. When I first arrived at the new game's hub area, Fireline Shrine, I spent an hour trying to tease a super fast samurai sword wielding enemy into jumping clean off the edge of the world to no avail. The ace of self-preservation apparently tightened since the last Dark Souls.
Dark Souls games are studded with shiny objects, usually them glowing white in the gloom. Many of them are prizes for having survived so long, or ways to tell the story of a new area without spelling it out. But a good number are deliberate teases. Some are placed just out of reach, luring greedy travelers into long-distance leaps to their death, while others are put in plain sight, like cheese in a mousetrap ready to spring shoot on the player. Dark Souls 3 has a particularly harsh lesson for new players about pressure early on, but I won't spoil it. In the meantime, treat an item like $1 you find on the floor. You might want it, but take a moment to ask yourself how it got there.
2,000 years later.
As in the previous games, souls are both Dark Souls 3 rewards and currency, given to players when they kill foes and used to buy items, upgrade weapons and level up your character. As you forge through new areas and fight bigger enemies, you upgrade up larger and larger stashes of souls, the loss of which hurts a little more with every death. The Souls games do offer a single chance to reclaim your souls after death. If you fight your way back to your bloodstain, you'll reclaim every one you had on your last life, but be wary of chasing this dream at the expense of all else. I fell off a ledge while exploring one of Dark Souls 3 new areas last week, losing some 20,000 souls in the process and possibly annoyed. I sprint past the same gaggle of enemies I previously spent 20 minutes carefully picking up, touching the spot of my previous death and regaining all my delicious souls for about 2 seconds. A moment later, one of the scarecrow-esque zombies I just antagonized appeared from nowhere and punched me down, the same hole I just died in.
Thanks for watching the video and don't forget to subscribe.
Don't forget to smash the like button below. If you want, and watch the other videos in the channel, and see you.
Bye.
Bye.